This is the All Things Nerd Podcast, Season 3, Episode 37. On tonight's show, we talk about the Peacock. That's another live streaming or another streaming service that's coming, and the reboots and sequels they're working on. We're also going to talk about Disney Plus releasing its entire programming schedule from day one, and holy moly, it's long. So we won't talk about it. It would be an hour alone just to read all the names. But yeah, we're going to talk about some of the highlights, and we're going to talk about Alienstock and what's going on over by Area 51. And lastly, we have somebody's got to talk about it for a sexy costume for Halloween that you may not have thought of. So with that, enjoy the show, and here's the intro. Hello to all the Geek Enthusiasts and Nerd Aficionados. This is Mest5150 with another All Things Nerd podcast here on Twitch, streaming live every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are listening on Stitcher, iTunes, or actually Apple Podcasts, Google, or anywhere that you're listening to the podcast, thank you for joining in. Thank you for listening. Make sure to drop a review and let us know in the comments how the show is. Or if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribing and you're dropping comments there as well. For those that are here live, thank you. Make sure to comment in the chat room so we can get your thoughts on what the stuff we have to talk about. I am your host, Mess5150. Joining me on tonight's cast, we have, well, first we'll go with the oldies, and then we'll go with a goodie. See how I
Wait, what am I?
You would be an oldie, so the because he's here all the time, and we missed him for a couple weeks. But I see Zorro joins us on the cast. How are you, sir?
It's okay, everybody. I'm back. You can calm down. It's been good, man. How are you?
The one person that freaked out was like, "What happened to IZ?"
Did somebody really freak out?
No.
Aww.
I was giving
way to
you
lift my
hopes.
spirits and then crush my dreams.
Exactly. Also joining us in the chat room watching, we have Red Meepaw and Ruru 2. So thank you guys for coming along for the ride and watching what we have to do here. We also have Super Hoovy and Freak on the cast with us. How are you?
It's been a week. I'm better now that it's almost over.
Okay. Sounds like it's a great one. So glad that she's on the show. And the goodie, so
Always.
New to the cast, you've seen him elsewhere. You've seen him for Reaction Cast. You've seen him for Smack Talk. But we brought Mind Freak over into the fold over here at All Things Nerd. So Mind Freak joins us on the cast. How are you, sir?
What's up, everybody? I'm back on a different show, and I'm happy to be here.
I wish I had your enthusiasm.
I got Liquid Courage tonight.
I have...
Not Liquid Death?
No.
No, I'm out of Liquid Death.
That is a water in a can. That's exactly what it is. It's just called Liquid Death. But yeah, it's
Murder your
If
thirst.
you want your water to have that cool, crisp aluminum flavor.
Okay, let's get into what we usually do.
Taste of the Rockies.
No, it's not. Let's get into what we usually do here on the cast, and that's starting out with what we've been geeking out on.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Get Your Geek On is talking about what things we've been doing for the last week to tickle our nerd fancy, keep geeking out, and what's been keeping us occupied. And if it's stuff that you should be checking it out yourself as well, or if it's something you should stay far away from, because we're here to help, and we don't want everybody wasting their time because there's not enough time in the world to do everything. So, I'm gonna change it up a little bit from my geek out because one, yeah, it is still the same thing that's been the last month and a half, and that's Arrowverse still. But I'm getting really close to ending it and finally finishing it off. But
Ending your watch, you mean?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Well, to start...
Just ending it all.
To be ready, yeah. Sometimes watching those shows.
I'm so tired of Stephen Amell.
I don't think I could ever get tired of Stephen Amell.
No, I can't get tired of Stephen Amell. There's some writing in other shows.
Watching him do the salmon ladder, I could watch that all day.
Yeah. The new thing that I've been geeking out on this week is an old thing, but I went back and I'm playing the Telltale Games King's Quest. So and they're fun. It's a phenomenal version, and there's a lot of Easter eggs to the old original Sierra games. I mean, it was partnered with Sierra. They have the Sierra logo on it and everything, but
Nice.
to the point that like tapestries on the wall in the castle is like the old Sierra covers of the old King's Quest games.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
and then you've got really good voice acting in it. You've got I can't remember the actor's
Is this
name.
a new King's Quest game, or is it a
It
remake
was new
of one?
for a couple years ago. It came out like 2016, 2017. So, but that's one of the things that the benefits of Telltale getting reinvigorated by a different company is that's one of the properties that they have ability, I think, to continue if they want to. I don't know if they could continue it. I haven't gotten to the end of the game yet. And it's the king telling stories of the past adventures that he went on and stuff, and I don't know if he dies at the end because it seems like they're trying to set up for somebody, which the king is voiced by oh good lord, Doc Brown. I can't remember his name right now.
Doc Brown?
Yes, Doc Brown from
Oh, I'm losing. Lloyd?
yes, Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd voices the king.
Lloyd.
You have the voice of
Prince, you gotta go back.
and you've also got the voice of and that's the old voice of the king, not the young voice. It's not Christopher Lloyd when he's young. But you've also got the voice.
Yeah, that would just be Reverend Jim from Taxi.
The other voice that's recognizable in it is once again, don't know his name, extremely recognizable, the little bald dude from Princess Bride. So
Inconceivable.
Wallace Shawn.
yes, he has a voice in it as well. And then there's one other voice that's really recognizable, and I can't remember her name either. But no, good voice acting, and it's a fun game, and it's a point and click, and yeah, that's what you look for out of this type of stuff.
Dude, Sierra and the King's Quest franchise won me over in the 90s, so if they're producing new content, I'm gonna consume that.
I mean, it's Telltale, so it's that style of game, but it's still that IP that they're using. So there is.
Well, you said it's the king telling stories from the past. Now I want to see like a King's Quest Assassin's Creed mashup.
But that's what I've
King's
been
Quest,
geeking
but
out
it's
on.
a platformer.
I don't have anything to tell people to stay far away from because I haven't been able to check out anything else. Oh yeah, I'll tell you something to stay far away from. Funko got me because they did a release of a mystery box from the Funko shop, and you could win this Freddy Funko metallic genie. So I bought it. It was 6 pops. It was $75, and I got a box of all the things that they couldn't sell on the store that's still available to buy right now. So don't do that. Don't buy a bundle from Funko unless you know exactly what's coming in it, because they'll get you for your money. So yeah, so stay away from that. Mind Freak, what have you been geeking out on?
Borderlands 3. And you knew I was going to bring this one up because we were talking about it yesterday. Borderlands 3 came out last week, and it's phenomenal. If you're a fan of the Borderlands franchise, or even if you're not, just hop in, check it out, play it, watch streams, play it. Borderlands is like you mentioned with King's Quest having like Easter eggs to others games, this and that. With Borderlands, same kind of idea. There's like Easter eggs and a bunch of pop culture references, and and then references from old games and stuff that happened, and like not necessarily happened, but like there's stuff that gets linked together, and you're just like, oh, what that kind of thing.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You said that the Telltale, once again, series. I just loved the games they made before they went bankrupt. They had a Borderlands game as well.
From the Borderlands.
I loved. Was fantastic.
Oh,
you
yeah.
said that there was even connection to that in Borderlands 3, which is kind of cool that they brought that over as well. So
yes, there is. Is it a spoiler or isn't it a spoiler? I'm trying to think, like side quest mission spoilers. Should I give one? Yeah, I'll give one. I'll give 2.
I think you're okay.
Yeah, it's been a week. I'll give 3.
by the time I get to the game, I'll probably forget because I'm so backlogged.
Exactly. So 3 of the best Easter egg like world bosses, mini boss is First one, if you're a fan of anime, One Punch Man. There's a boss called One Punch that will drop you in one punch. He drops a legendary shotgun that has the funniest name in the world called the One Pump Chump because it has one shell in it. The other one, Rick and Morty. I mean, it's and literally like you see like the pearl gun, the hair, and all that.
That's
one.
funny.
Those ones are cool. And then one that I did recently, and I actually did it last night. It was Kill the Gorgarian and their queen. And I'm going in there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And it's a reference to.
Do you go to the Carpathian?
No.
Conan the Barbarian?
Danny from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
The mother. Yeah. So it was Mother Gorgarians, the undescending.
That's funny.
Breaker of walls or something like that. And then the dragons were Dreg, Vice, and Rage. So
I mean,
it was a nice little reference.
it might be
that
first one might be a reference to One Punch Man, but it could also be a reference to Mike Tyson, you know.
That
Because
too.
but
it
was the one punch hit knock you out for Mike Tyson's punch
I was thinking
out.
Mike Tyson too. Yeah.
One pump,
they
one pump chump, you know.
yeah.
Does the character bite ears?
Yeah.
No, no, he doesn't. But it's
Then
funny
it's probably
you
one
mention that because there's people that have been arguing about that stuff like that. But the like in the forums and stuff like that, it's One Punch Man. It's pretty funny.
No,
and then yeah.
Wait, I'm just making a connection in my head. When I see people typing Ip Man, are they actually typing One Punch Man?
No, Ip Man is different.
It's a different thing. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait,
My nerd knowledge is not.
Is there anything that you experienced this week that people should stay far away from? I would take that as a no.
His own singing.
Okay. I see Zorro. What have you been geeking out on?
Today I had my very first Impossible Burger, and holy crap, yeah. So I got 2 Whoppers because I hadn't eaten yet today, and I got a regular Whopper and I got an Impossible Whopper, and I switched them back and forth until I forgot which one was which, and I couldn't tell the difference. That was incredible. Yeah.
A Whopper from Burger King?
Yeah.
So could it just be that
Impossible Burger? Or it might just be that everything on that grill tastes exactly the same. Who knows?
Yeah, I was
But-
gonna say
but-
it could just be Burger
but-
King.
Did you flip it upside down and have the upside down Whopper from? I don't know if you heard about that. They had the upside down Whopper for Stranger Things, which was just
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it cut like the lettuce and tomato and stuff's just under the burger?
exactly.
What else?
They get
I-
they basically they give you the Whopper and they just flip it over and they're like, here.
Oh no, the upside down. Ooh. It's a Gorgon burger. It just has
Cue Stranger Things music.
right. I have been playing a ton of Fallout 4. Finally got into it. Now I'm several years behind the trends here, but it starts super slow, and I wasn't used to like having to search every square inch of property when I play a game. So now that 19 missions going, I'm really enjoying it.
So here's my stay away from for you. Stay away from Fallout 76.
Yeah. My roommate's been complaining about it. He's like, "Oh, I remember playing that when you didn't have to pay for fast travel." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm not playing that one then." And then what else? I've been continuing to reread Wheel of Time. I'm currently halfway through book 10, which is Crossroads of Twilight.
Oof, that book is brutal.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of books of lull, like Winter's Heart, Crossroads of Twilight. What's number? Path of Daggers, maybe.
Yeah, Path Daggers. I actually liked that one. I thought it started to pick back up.
Wait, no,
Book
Path of
8
Daggers was 8.
A
Yeah.
Knife of Dreams or something.
Knife of Destiny? Dreams. I don't know, one of those.
It had a knife. It had some kind of stabbing object in the title.
What book series?
Wheel of
Wheel
Time.
of Time.
I haven't read it. I'll have to check it out.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Start
What?
now and you'll get done in a year.
What?
Be prepared. Be
It is
prepared. There's our about
the
4
epic
books in
fantasy
there.
series.
It is a great, but there is a lot.
There's 14 books.
Yeah. And
exposition
about
in
4 of them
terms
could be cut out.
of detail of what exactly the scenes and the looks.
Oh no, what Super was saying is absolutely true. Like a couple of those books could have been put out as multiple books.
Red Meatball says that she's listening to the audiobook of Discovery of Witches. Let us know how that is.
Oh, good.
So
That's good.
And then Ruru2 chimed in that Ip Man was Bruce Lee's master in real life, which, yeah, I knew about that. And then Danny Yen, and I responded that Danny Yen made a whole movie series off of Ip Man. So, not to the true story of Ip Man, but, you know, some inspired.
I got blind spots like everybody else. Anime and martial arts movies are some of my blind spots.
Yeah. So, and last, oh, did you have anything that people need to stay far away from this week that you encountered so they don't waste their time?
Avoid Solvang this weekend.
Okay. I don't know what's going on there.
There's going to be a big festival in the little Danish town of Solvang, and it's going to be crazy.
I love Solvang, but that's just because I love fudge.
I love Solvang when it's not crazy packed.
I love fudge.
Crazy.
Super. What have you been geeking out
on? I actually finished. I didn't realize I never watched the last 2 episodes of Big Little Lies season 2. So I finished that, and it ended. It was a weird ending, but it was pretty good. They had a scene in there. If you haven't watched the series yet, Laura Dern's character in the 2nd season. Her husband gets like arrested for fraud, and basically, they're poor now, and all her money gets taken away. And she has the scene where she finally just loses her crap with the guy, and it was amazing. Very well acted. If you're a fan of Laura Dern, I recommend just watching it just for that scene alone, because she went full on. I mean, what's that? I think the internet was calling her, she found her Beyonce's Lemonade moment. Now, I never saw Lemonade. I don't know if that's true or not. But she just went batshit all over the guy, and it was hilarious. So
when you're referring to Laura Dern, anything's got to be better than her role in Last Jedi. So,
oh God, no, it's so much better. Renata is an amazing character.
You do know about the what she did whenever her character was shooting in Last Jedi. You heard that story, right?
No.
Oh
No.
She makes pew pew sounds when she's shooting, when she's filming, and you can see it when you go back and watch. You can see her mouthing pew pew.
Well,
that's hilarious. That might actually make it better for me.
Ewan McGregor did the same thing in Phantom Menace with lightsaber noises. So.
Yeah, but
I'll have to go back and watch that.
The mouth as much going whoosh, whoosh. It just but you can visibly see pew pew.
And that's still less dumb than flying.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that, because that might make it funnier for me. But no, I mean, she just has like the best lines. Like when she kicks her husband out of the car, and the cars are all honking behind her. She stops in the middle of a busy road. She's driving off, and she's flipping the cars off, yelling, can't you just give a woman a moment? And she's screaming at the top of her lungs as she drives off. It's pretty funny.
Nice. Anything that people should stay far away from?
Trader Joe's sushi. Don't eat it. You will regret it for the rest of your life. Don't. My sister, I was told it was pretty good. She was raving about the crunch rolls. I was just like, all right, I'll give it a try. How bad could it be? Don't. You'll regret it forever.
Well, that's
better than or worse than gas station sushi.
Oh, better than gas station sushi. Yeah. Maybe if I'd eaten it fresh, I don't know, because I let it sit in the fridge for a few hours and then went to eat it. But I was just like, this is the worst ever. Their spring rolls are much better. Get their shrimp spring rolls.
And we say goodbye to Red Meatpaw in the chat room, because she's got an opportunity to get a WoW rare, so she'll be seeing us. So thanks for joining us, Rare. And go get that rare.
Tell God he can wait.
Get the rare.
Go get the rare. We're going to move on to the meat and potatoes of the show. Before we go in, as always, we do this live every Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitch, twitch.tv/Malice Corp. So if you're listening to this later and you'd like to join in, come be a part of the show. Come chat with us in the interactive chat room, where we will give your thoughts as well so that you can be a part of the show. Lurks is in there. thank you for lurking again. And Windsock has also joined us as well as Commander Root. Thank you, all three of you, for coming back and watching for another show. We appreciate you guys watching. Okay, so let's move on to. Well, no, you know what? We're not going to get straight into that yet because I wanted to play a quick little thing with you guys, just because I saw this interesting article and I wanted to.
I love me some games.
Well, I don't know how much of a game this one is. I'm just going to ask you guys some quick little things. I was curious if how you guys leaned on this stuff, if it was a myth or if it was true, or what you thought. All right, so I'm going to give you some science facts, and I want to know what your guys' thinkings are on them. These are 17 science facts that you learned in school.
Oh, God, not that kind of nerd.
Oh, boy. I'm going to go ahead and call it they're all false.
Well, that's pretty much it. Yes, they're all false, and I just wanted to get with your guys' thoughts.
No, I ruined the game.
You
ruined it!
Yes, you ruined the game.
It,
so, apparently, they told us in school that we know what caused the dinosaurs' mass extinction. Were you guys ever taught that?
I was taught what we thought it was.
I always went with the assumption that it was a giant meteor.
Yeah, that was what we were told, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the myth.
I was under the impression that it was
that's
the
exactly
meteor strike that caused the Gulf of Mexico to be what
that's the one that's the exact myth, is that in 1978, geophysicists stumbled upon Chicxulub, a crater in the Yucatan Peninsula made by the 6-mile-wide asteroid that likely triggered the dinosaurs' demise. But since the discovery, they have uncovered more details about the impact. The collision caused a mile-high tsunami, sparked wildfires, released billions of tons of sulfur into the atmosphere, blotting out the sun for years. But they say that the volcanic eruptions in modern-day India also contributed to the dinosaurs' downfall. So, so
it's still that, but just not only that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't get rid of all of them.
And the Earth getting hit by a 6-mile-wide asteroid probably wouldn't be great for tectonic plate activity and volcanoes. So I'm still going with that.
Yeah.
And
you would think that it would shift everything, Maybe that's what caused the Hawaiian Islands.
Could I just say it was possibly a kaiju out of the Marianas Trench?
Yeah, but only if you're willing to lead a motorcycle club, criminal motorcycle club out of Central California.
Going along with the dinosaur theme, the other thing taught to us, of course, we learned differently from Dr. Grant, that dinosaurs were lizards, scaly looking, and they say no, they had feathers. So.
Yeah. Dr. Grant said they evolved into birds.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't he also say that they may have looked like little chickens at one point?
Well, the velociraptors in Jurassic Park are like 7.5 feet tall. Real velociraptors are roughly the size of chickens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine running into a chicken that's like an actual chicken that size? That would be terrifying.
Chickens can be aggressive just now. Imagine them with that little ripping claw on their feet.
Dude, seriously.
I mean, if they're that size, then that explains where KFC gets the mega leg from.
All right, I'm gonna give you another myth that we were taught in school. And I want to get what type of noise would a T-Rex make? Come on, what do you guys think?
Huh? Well,
like a lion's roar, but magnified by like 1,000.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, the sound effects that they used in Jurassic Park were like a lion combined with an elephant and like a warthog or something.
Yeah.
So they said a 2016.
You telling me they chirped?
Here we go. A 2016 study suggests that instead of roaring, the T-Rex probably cooed and hooted and made deep-throated booming sounds like the modern-day emu.
There is no way that they could know that.
I need an edit for Jurassic Park of the T-Rex chasing people with doing those noises.
It's a totally different scene now. Dr. Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, is sitting in the back of the Jeep, and he looks up and there's a giant feathered chicken running at him going,
No.
Well,
You're
and then,
brilliant.
crashes through a tree.
here's the
And
thing. That goes-
then he's just stuck. He's like, "You brilliant! You did it!"
well,
Somebody get the extra crispy recipe.
here's to go along with that. They said that the T-Rex's long stride could carry it as fast as 25 miles per hour, but it never would reach a suspended gait since it always had at least one leg on the ground, so it wouldn't actually go that fast.
Well, and it always had to worry about tripping. It's not like it could catch itself.
Yeah, exactly. The food pyramid is the gold standard of nutrition is a myth.
That thing has been changed so many times over the last few decades.
The only pyramid that I still believe to this day is the Ron Swanson Pyramid of Greatness.
Yep.
It's the only thing you need. And Ruru 2 said, "Get the sexy Colonel Sanders to catch all the escaped dinosaurs."
Yeah, that's
You
if
gotta go
Jeff
date 'em
Goldblum
first.
does a Colonel or a KFC commercial.
Yeah, you gotta go date him first. You gotta get it. That comes out in a couple weeks. The I Love Colonel Sanders video game. Another myth is that milk is not good for your bones. So everybody that said it gave you strong bones.
Well, we've lost
calcium
all reason to drink it. then.
All right,
Yeah.
so the whole thing of milk good and bad keeps going back and forth. If you want to hear a brilliant explanation about that, comedian Lewis Black's whole argument on health and milk is hilarious.
The last one I wanted to go with because we all definitely do this to work out, but crunches, stomach crunches, and sit-ups are great for your core is a myth. They are not good for your core.
You
So,
do start to
for
wonder
you.
sometimes, yeah.
It tilts
I mean,
the pelvis.
That isn't going to give you a six-pack, but
Well, they said this technique
I mean,
tilts the pelvis anteriorly, increasing the stress on the lower back, and should
Yeah.
be avoided. So everybody doing those crunches, now you have a reason not to.
I'll stop then, I guess.
There's some more on there.
Whew,
But
that's going to save me minutes a year.
there's some more myths on there, but we'll save those maybe for another time. I just wanted to get reactions because these are things that we were taught, and then they're like, "Oops, wait, no, let's explain further." So with that, it's time for the main segment of the show, and that is the nerd news. Okay, so the first story that we're going to talk about and discuss is, since we always talk about freaking streaming services, because they're coming out of everywhere, like Taco Bell, after you eat it late midnight. So, what?
Okay.
Just me? Just
Not
me?
where I was expecting we were going to go.
Just me?
Yeah. You had a straight line and then you took a hard left turn. I don't know how you're going to recover from that one, Cotton.
I was happy with the joke. But yeah, streaming services are coming out everywhere, and NBC has their streaming service coming, what is just called the Peacock, because why would it be called anything else? Because that's their logo, is the Peacock,
Right.
and that's what they're calling their streaming service. They paid $500 million to get The Office from Netflix, because it was the most watched show on Netflix, and Netflix in turn turned around and said, well, screw you, we're going to go spend more and get Seinfeld from Hulu, because that's what they're doing. But
Yep.
NBC, the way that they're figuring it
It's a good
is,
move.
if you're going to bring the popular shows over, there should be new content for those popular shows. So they are in the works of doing an Office reboot, along with another show that they're doing a sequel of, and that's Saved by the Bell, which everybody, it's up there with all those other shows.
Okay.
Everybody's like, we need a sequel.
Okay, good. So does that mean that we're done with everybody having their own streaming service now? 'Cause
It better be. It better be.
I don't know if there's anybody else that can have one. That's NBC, CBS.
I mean, we
has
have one
theirs.
coming out, right?
Yeah, it's called twitch.tv/Malice Corp. Streams live every Friday, and you can go back and watch other episodes on YouTube, youtube.com/C/Malice Corp, and stream it at your own pleasure to watch our previous videos and our previous casts. And boy, you didn't think I was going to go there, did you?
Yeah,
So
well, I mean, you're going to need to give us $450 million for the rights, though.
Ruru2 says NBC, not the best catalog of shows.
Right?
No, it's that's true. They're not the best catalog of shows. So for them to say we're going to force you to pay money for a streaming service, I'm just like, why?
Well, I mean,
They had
Friends-
half a
Friends
decade
would
of
have been
must-see
theirs
TV,
as
and other
well.
than that,
You know
it
how
was
they're trying to
garbage.
get people. This is how sneaky they are. They are now, NBC has not pulled the rights from USA, but USA, which aired the movie, did the deal with the show. NBC's now stepping in and saying, okay, you're no longer allowed to air all the movies. We're going to take them and put them on our streaming service. So Psych's going up, as is the new movie. So the new movie now has been pushed back, which was supposed to air this Christmas, like the last one. And now it's being pushed back to coincide with the release of the Peacock or the Pisscock or whatever you want to call it. I don't care.
Ruru2 says Sony still doesn't have a streaming service. That's probably not going to happen because the rumor is the reason that the Spider-Man stalemate has happened with Marvel is Apple's trying to buy Sony, and if somebody buys Sony, Marvel gets Spider-Man back for free. So
Oh, let's have that happen then.
So Sony probably won't get their own streaming service because if they don't get bought by Apple, Amazon's also looking to try and buy them. So, yeah. So I don't think Sony's going to get its own streaming service. But they said Apple needs Sony because they don't have a movie studio to get into the streaming world the way that they want to and everything. So
I was wondering why Tom Holland had been hiring antitrust lawyers. That's crazy.
Okay, so back to the main story. Office is getting a reboot from the people that are in charge of the Peacock are actually in the process of creating a reboot, not with Steve Carell or anything like that, because he's doing something else with Netflix.
Yeah, Steve Carell has said, "Yeah, I'm not coming back to the office."
He's done. He's been done.
He's
he
working
left
with one of the
show
main
even ended.
creators of the U.S. office to create basically an office in space for Netflix. That is the series that he's working on. So, what do you guys think about a reboot? Do you think that we need to get a reboot of characters? You know, a whole new takes place somewhere else, or try and bring some of the actors that really never went anywhere. So you're not going to get John Krasinski or Pam or anything, or you might get Dwight.
Those people haven't done anything with their careers.
It could be like you're talking about maybe doing like a Cheers from Frasier or Frasier from Cheers kind of thing.
Yeah, spin-off.
That would
could
be a
work.
spin-off. They're saying reboot is actually the actual phrasing they're using, which would be a.
You know how The Office was a reboot of a show already?
Yeah.
Now they want to reboot it.
Well,
Reboot
there's
it, yeah.
different offices throughout. You know, there's the American office, and then there's the English office, there's the Indian office. There's actually an office in almost every single language that's not just taking our version and dubbing over it. They re-recorded it and stuff, and yeah.
And they all love whatever regionally appropriate version of Raymond is.
Yeah. I say no to the reboot. It won't make me want to buy the streaming service. Office is good on its own.
I agree. And I want to know more about what you think about their game plan is for the streaming service of why they're doing this. Their explanation is, hey, the most watched show on Netflix for their streaming and restreaming is The Office. So we brought it back, and because it is so watched, it means people still love it. So we're going to reboot it. And any show, this is the phrasing they used, any show that gets popularity in the streaming, in their numbers, they're going to look at rebooting it.
Oh, come on.
They're just holding up a flashing neon sign that says, "We're here for the money, everybody."
Yeah.
Just here for the money.
Go piss off.
It's the worst streaming action plan that I've heard, business plan that I've heard yet.
Does nobody at that company have a marketing degree or public relations? That was terrible. That person's fired.
Yeah.
Rutu says the Office reboot will be the DMV. Actually, you know what?
I'd watch
I'd
that.
be down for that.
I would.
I would watch a DMV-based show. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Office is already a reboot of the amazing original British Office, and the fact that it was so good was a fluke. It had amazing casting, fantastic writers. To reboot a reboot successfully as they hope it's going to be, it's damn near impossible.
It is.
The odds are against them. The odds are not in their favor. Pick a line from the Hunger Games and it will fit this scenario.
Okay, so let's go to the other line of what the Peacock's doing, making sequels off of shows that are already, So they're doing a Saved by the Bell sequel. So far, signed on. Well, who do you think signed on? I don't know if you guys read who's actually.
I read the article, so I can't.
Mario Lopez and Elizabeth.
Berkeley.
What's her face? Berkeley. Thank you. I'm like, not thanks, but
the guy that works in front of Universal Studios doing news reports, Mario Lopez, and Elizabeth Berkeley, who hasn't had a job since Striptease? Showgirls, whatever. Striptease was Demi Moore. Yeah, so that's who they were able to get. I mean, they didn't go as low as trying to get Screech, so but
that's why I said they just need to get comedian Michael Showalter to play Screech.
They'll probably be able to get, if he's still around, they'll probably be able to get the guy that played the principal.
Mr. Belding?
Mr. Belding, thank you. What I find irritating is that they've given a description for the show that involves the guy that Mark Paul Gossier, or however you say his last name. Gosselaar, thank you. And you haven't even approached him about the series. So you've written a whole show that involves him that he will need to be there to film, and you haven't even asked him
if he wants
to.
So to explain what Super's saying, because if you guys haven't read the article, and I think Ruutu knew about it because he said no Screech, no Zach, no show. The Hollywood Reporter first
no Tiffany Amber Thiessen, no show.
Yeah, no, the Hollywood Reporter first. Well, that's the thing is they went after the people that can't get jobs. Tiffany, if she just wants to get a job, she can find something. So, just off her older name recognition. But
no way she can make a quick $20.
What was the last thing she did? It was White Collar, wasn't it?
White Collar, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
White Collar was
good. Yeah, she played the guy's wife.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, the Hollywood Reporter reported that they've been in talks with previous cast members, the people that are signed on are Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkeley, and that they had been talking to Gosselaar as well. Well, then it comes out from Mark Paul Gosselaar, he found out about this whole entire thing when Variety reported it. He hadn't heard from anybody. Nobody had said a word to him, even though the whole story revolves around Zach is now the governor and has to figure out what to do because he's having to close down high schools, because they're underperforming or something, and Bayside is one of the schools that he has to transition people over to. So it all revolves around Zach. But Gosselaar said, hey, I'm over with ABC and Disney, so it doesn't surprise me that I haven't heard about it, because, he's not going to be going over to NBC. He's already got a job.
He's starring in Mixed-ish. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is bizarre, because I could have sworn, like, the first 2 weeks that I saw commercials for Mixed-ish, the Mark Paul Gosselaar role was played by Anders Holm from Workaholics.
I haven't watched the show yet, so...
I feel like that show got recast after commercials for it came out. But yeah, he's contractually obligated to another network, so they couldn't use him.
Yeah.
That's weird timing.
Ruutu says they'll recast him with Jim Parsons. No, Jim Parsons just signed a deal with Fox, and to go...
He also says...
No, he's going to Fox. I hate Fox.
Yeah, him
he also says, isn't she in the... WB dramas? She's on a show called Alexa and Katie. I'm not sure what that...
I don't know what that is. But yeah. Jim Parsons and Mayim Bialik both just signed deals to go do shows with Fox. I think a 5-year deal or something like that. So yeah, okay. Jim Parsons won't be
rebooting Blossom?
Oh God.
Who knows?
I'm sure they could get Six to come back and do a role.
Joey Lawrence isn't doing much. No. Get him off Spectrum or whatever it is.
God, I don't remember the Lawrence brothers.
All right, so this sequel, on a scale, we know it's not going to be as good as Saved by the Bell, but will it be better than the college years, or worse?
There was some fun stuff that happened in the college years. I mean, it wasn't
Leah Romini.
It lasted a season. There was a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed some of the episodes from it, but yeah, it would probably, if they could get everyone on for it, sure, it would be really cool. But if they can't get him, there's no point. You know?
So you're saying worse?
Yeah, it would be worse if they can't at least get him on board. It would be worse.
I wonder if that's the route they're going to go. Reboots does Saved by the Bell midlife crisis.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to say that Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkley, their characters were fine and their characters were entertaining, but you didn't watch it specifically. At least I didn't watch it specifically for them.
You did not watch this show for AC Slater
or Jesse Spano
and their on again, off again relationship that they always had. So.
Yeah,
and that's one episode of being freaked out about diet pills.
If you were going to go with anybody outside of Zach, I would much rather have a show about Max and his diner. Just doing magic tricks all the time.
I want to see a show about all of the diners and stuff from all the popular 90s shows. It's like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, but it's like the Peach Pit and Max's and stuff like that.
All right. Moving on to the next story having to do with streaming. Disney Plus, because we talk about them all the time, it was released their full list of what's going to be available on day 1, November 12th. And we knew all the new stuff that was coming out, but we didn't know to what extent they were going to be getting old programming to watch, like how in depth they were going to go with it. I didn't count all the names. Everything's alphabetical, and it takes a lot of scrolling. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
They're putting everything on there. Everything. Because I was like, let me go see if they have Gargoyles. Hey, Gargoyles is on there. And while I'm looking, because I'm like, okay, they got the entire Disney afternoon. And while I'm looking, they had me sold.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
Exactly. But they had me sold in the M's because one series that I can't find anywhere that I grew
Might be
up
more
with,
from Power Rangers.
loving, Muppet Babies is on there.
I saw that. There's 3 different Muppet shows on there.
Yep, and the one that I am super duper excited for, I remember watching as a kid and same kind of idea. It's hard for me to find it. The animated Mighty Ducks show.
Oh, good Lord. I remember that too.
Yes,
I remember that.
The hockey team based on the TV show.
They were actual ducks that fought crime.
Yeah, they're crime-fighting ducks, and the pond was their station. So not only did they play hockey up on top, underneath they had all the gadgets to fight crime.
And occasionally Launchpad McQuack would fly them around, right?
Yeah. That's the one thing I didn't check to see if it was on there was Darkwing Duck.
No, it's on there.
It is? Oh, thank God.
And
the whole Disney afternoon is on there.
That's the big thing is, and I want to get your guys' reaction. What was the big? So the biggest one to you was the
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
And
are the movies on there? Are the Mighty Duck movies on there? Did you look for that?
Yes, all of them are. All 3 of them. The Mighty Ducks D2 and D3. But one of the biggest things that kind of surprised me too.
Emilio.
No.
That's Night at the Roxbury.
Mighty Duck Man himself.
They have a lot of the Disney Channel stuff on there too. Like not only like animated, but like live action shows and movies. I saw like some of the ones that I saw on there was like Even Stevens, Lisa McGuire,
Even Stevens.
Yeah,
Even Stevens.
But all the stuff I grew up with.
So
same here. Nice. For nostalgic purposes, I might check out an episode or 2.
Yeah, but like Johnny Tsunami, Brinks, like all those like
all those
mid-2000s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was Double Team on there? Was that one about the basketball players? One of the first female basketball players for the WNBA? Was it called Double Team?
You could probably look on the list and see.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be really weird. That'd be a bad name if it was.
No, it's called Double Team. It is.
It is.
Not only
movie.
did Disney buy Fox and everybody else, they also bought Vixen. So
that was actually a pretty fun movie about the first 2 twins to play for the WNBA.
It wasn't the movie with Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Where they fought a white tiger.
No, they fought a girl from the WNBA.
I was disappointed to see Mulan 2 on there because I think Mulan 2 is a crime against humanity and should be removed and only used to torture people.
And Maru 2 dropped a link in the chat of the exact list that we're talking about from Attractions Magazine. Since he thinks
I'm
it's 860
very
movies and
curious
shows.
to find out what the hell the pirate fairy is. Haven't heard of it. Is it Tinkerbell? Did she conscript herself to work with Smee? Is she now working on the pirate ships with Captain Hook? Is it
You know, the fact
a
that we
different
don't know.
timeline
Here's
of
the
fairies?
thing: the fact that we don't know
I
what
think-
all these things are, really. I mean, Disney. It shows how deep Disney is. But the fact that we don't know what everything is, does have a game available there of a just like we do with the
Yeah, real or not real.
no, not the
Yeah,
real or
what
not
is the
real,
Princess
like we do with
Protection
upfronts.
program?
Like we do with what the upfront, what the show's about. There's stuff
Nice.
here because of how deep this list is, and eventually that will become a thing where,
Yeah, what's the plot of the Book of Pooh?
yeah, exactly, or what's that's a game that will come on a regular basis at some point to this show once a month, probably in season 4. But I'll probably go look for those obscure new shows on Netflix that nobody's watching or knows what it's about, and get everybody's ideas of what the heck the show's about. Was there anything else that like got you guys like super hyped that you saw on this list?
I mean, Disney Afternoon, dude. Tailspin. Chippendale's Rescue Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Spin it, let's begin.
The
When you're in it, you can win it in a minute.
Reluctant
Spin it.
There was one other one that was huge to me and came from Marvel and Fox, and that's the benefit of being bought and being able to put here. The original X-Men animated series is on there. So
Oh, like the Saturday morning one?
oh yeah, so I'm gonna get
Yep.
my
Nice.
dun-dun-dun-dun,
Oh yeah, from '92.
and that's exactly what Urutu said for X-Men and Honey I Shrunk the Kids. So
Yeah. There's 6 different Spider-Man shows. There's at least 6 different Star Wars shows. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here.
there's so much on there, and it's for the $6.99. Not a
It's-
sponsor,
it's
but
insane.
holy crap! I mean, it is the
Even-
best deal in streaming. In all honesty,
Even
Yeah.
the $12.99 package where you have that Hulu and ESPN too.
yeah, it
Yep,
is
that's what I'm gonna
it's
do.
ridiculous. They're going to crush. They are going to crush, and there's nothing they could charge more. Remember, I see you'll probably remember. I don't know about the other two, but remember when Disney Channel cost money and it was a big deal when it became free
yeah.
on cable?
Oh
This
yeah,
is-
you would get like 2 weeks of it for free in the summer, and then you would just beg your parents for the rest of the year.
No, I have no idea.
yeah. See, you always thought it was free. It was always included with cable. So
Yeah, it was always included with cable.
Mm-hmm.
no, it was a big deal. It used to not. It was not included. And so when somebody had
Yeah, back when you had that fake wood grain brown cable box that you would set on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Third story. We're gonna go a little long tonight, but third story is it's happening. People are doing it. They actually went. Alienstock, the Area 51 raid is happening. Not to the extent that they thought. There was.
Did you hear the number?
Was it 2,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of like the 2 million that said they were going to go, only like 2,000 went.
That sounds about right.
And-
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to think. I think one of the hashtags it was like #free ET from the government or something like that.
So they're bad at hashtags too.
Yeah, they are.
I'm seeing
Ju-
pictures of we found an alien and somebody's got like a mask of an alien.
Yes. It was bad.
And then every time somebody tries to live stream, they're getting their live stream shut down, even though there's nothing going on. I mean, these people aren't getting even. What? Okay, wait. The first day, I think it was like 28 people showed up, and one person got arrested for peeing on the ground. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's what happened. So Alienstock was what they started naming it because they were going to have bands come and perform and everything. They built a stage. That got canceled. So even though it's supposed to go through the weekend, there's no Alienstock at Area 51 anymore. But there is an Alienstock in Vegas, and that's where everybody's going now because they're like EMD or not EMD. EDM. They're turning it into an EDM concert in Vegas called Alienstock instead. But
Jeez.
there are people still out there. There are people Naruto running.
Yes. In the news conference, the Naruto run.
There's a guy for ABC.
Yeah, of
News.
all the different types of people that were supposed to show up there, I saw a bunch of Naruto runners. I didn't see any Karens. I didn't see any rock throwers. Didn't see any.
I didn't see, even though I drive one, I didn't see the Subaru guys with the vapes trying to shield all the Naruto runners as they're running out with smoke. I didn't see any of those.
So, what do you think? Do you think more people will show up this weekend, or is 2,000 pretty much the max? Have we gotten to the extent of how stupid this is?
Oh, nobody else is showing up to that dumb shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
You would think no, but I didn't think 2,000 people would show up either. So what the F do I know?
Like I said,
It's
this
like
was going to be
0.01%. Sounds about right.
exactly.
Yeah.
This was going to be a thinning of the masses. This was going to be, getting the stupid out of the herd. So the ones
Survival of the fittest.
the ones that are actually going to go try and storm a military base, it's going to be in the smaller percentages, hopefully. Because if it wasn't, then that's I fear for the human race if 2 million people actually showed up to storm a military base.
Oh, dude, seriously, yeah. Although I was laughing at the guy that tried to photobomb the guy doing a report when he ran in behind him.
Well,
That
I
was
was told that
I was wrong.
that's
It's
what they're supposed
0.001%. Show.
They're supposed to Naruto. That was the original message. Was if we go and storm them and we all Naruto run, they won't be able to hit us.
And then it came out, was like, hey, Subarus and Vapors, could you guys just drive around circles for us, vaping clouds out for us to have
Karens,
cover
can you go
smoke?
off to that side and ask for the manager?
So we all thought this was gonna die at some point before it actually got to this point. I didn't think people
Yeah.
were actually gonna, I thought they were gonna get smart and not show up. But what ended up happening was it blew up. It got huger. We kept talking about it, and then it booked out the closest hotel. Arby's was gonna show up with a food truck for everybody. They're gonna have a concert, all this stuff. And then the FBI
Were they
contacted.
going to rename horsey sauce to alien sauce?
Yeah, something like that. But then they FBI contacted the guy that first made the joke, and then he had to go, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going to be a part of this, even though he had started setting up everything, because the FBI was on his ass, and he's like, no, it was a joke. I'm not, and so he backed out.
That was one of the most impressive things about that article, is that they were able to track down who started this stupid meme.
Yeah.
A California college student named Maddie Roberts. Like, wow. You've got some amazing forensic internet dudes there.
Maddie, first word of advice, change your name to just Matt. Maddie, don't call yourself
Seriously.
Maddie.
Yeah.
Just Matt Roberts, please.
Unless you're joining a band with Jason Mraz, Maddie's not going to work, dude.
Secondly, because of the impact that they were amassing to figure that it was going to hit this county, now they're looking at legal ramifications against Facebook for even letting it grow to the intensity that it's grown to in terms of talking.
Yeah, because
about
they
everything.
had to bring in like sheriff's department people, and there was like a bunch of costs that had to be outlaid by the government in order to protect against this stupid thing, which
Which I said it before when like anybody else talking about it. It's just like you said, thinning of the herd, just laughing Bert with A10 warthogs, but laughing Bert.
We'll see what happens by Sunday. The biggest proclaimer of aliens and that they exist and that there's stuff there. Even he
Tom
said,
DeLonge?
yes, even he said, "Stay the heck away from there. Don't."
Was it really Tom DeLonge?
Yeah. He was on. An
Oh
interview-
man, I called it.
He was on an interview with K-Rock, and they asked him about it, and this was about 2 months ago, and they said, should they do it? And he's like, no, do not do it. Stay away from there. Don't, like, even somebody that 100%, like, really, really is like, aliens exist, they have stuff there. He was even telling people to stay away. So
They don't. You want to know what's in the deepest, darkest pits of Area 51? 2 things. 1, Shrek 5 on DVD. And 2, hand sanitizer that kills 100% of germs.
Oh, good lord.
Rather than 99.9%. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, Brett Spiner is still being held against glass by some weird.
Release me.
And that's why Facebook was all in on it. That's Zuckerberg's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I thought it was Data was Zuckerberg's dad.
Yeah, Brent Spiner.
Oh yeah, Brent Spiner.
It
Duh.
is Walt Disney's frozen head, but reanimated is actually down there.
And attached to the body of Hitler. Wait.
No.
What it is
They
have
have
It's
figured out how to...
attached to a giant spider claw, like in Toy Story. Robot Chicken already did a thing.
I thought you were going to say like in Wild Wild West. It's kind of blind.
No, they have figured out how to reanimate people, but they can't bring them out. So Walt's down there, Tupac's down there, Apple.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs is down there, and they're like, "Please help! We need help running things. So give us ideas."
Ted Williams is pissed because there's no room to hit home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, didn't Tupac show up to Coachella a couple years back via hologram?
Yeah, they let him out for a minute and said it was a hologram. Ooh.
Okay. Last thing for tonight's show is a little segment that we like to call "Somebody's Got to Talk About It."
We need to talk!
You talking to me?
Oh my God! Who told you?
Have you told anyone else about this?
What you talking about?
Look who's talking.
Somebody's Got to Talk About It is the weird, odd, strange stories that pop up in the headlines that we figure that somebody's got to talk about on a podcast. And so we've had everything on this cast from talking about liquid death water to talking about last week.
That's just Flint, Michigan.
Yeah. To last week we were talking about the I Love Colonel Sanders dating simulator game that's maybe on Steam. So we're getting...
I love the Norm Macdonald version.
We're getting to...
That's not my name.
We're getting to Halloween is around the corner, and with Halloween comes Halloween costumes. Halloween is a time where they say that you can dress sexy and there's nothing wrong with it. And so everybody goes and gets out the sexiest costumes available. Well, a company came out with their sexy Halloween costume for this year, and it is sexy Mr. Rogers.
Not just any company. It's a lingerie company.
I know.
Yeah.
They're not
Rogers.
They're not actually wearing lingerie, though. It is not.
I would like to.
It is not lingerie that they're wearing. It is.
No.
Yeah, you can wear this stuff out. So.
I would like to preface this by saying that I have already gone as sexy Mr. Rogers when I was about 12. And that's just because I was dressed as Mr. Rogers and I was sexy.
I guess you could say it was a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it was. Well, one lady was giving out full-size, like king-size candy bars. And
full-size Snickers! Bam!
I was going past that house as many times as I could. I was like, oh, I got a cardigan. I'm going to throw that on. Now, Mr. Rogers. Okay, so you're seeing this costume here from Yandy. And first of all, this doesn't look anything like Mr. Rogers. This is just a girl. This is a sexy schoolgirl with shorts instead of a skirt.
She's she's got
she needs a cardigan.
Well, it's supposed to be a red sweater.
No, that's just a sweater. That's just a low-cut sweater. A cardigan is like a thing.
Yeah.
She needs a cardigan. She needs a plaid shirt under it. And that girl's only got one change of shoes. She needs at least 2 pairs of Keds.
Well, my favorite thing with the costume to make it Mr. Rogers, and I'm going to show it to the people here, but you can see she's got puppets. She's got puppets to show this.
King Friday.
It's like, well, we can dress her in a cute little sexy outfit, but as long as we throw puppets on her hands, she's Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, and the official title of it is the nicest neighbor costume.
Yeah, because they can't call it Mr. Rogers.
Avoiding those copyright lawsuits.
This is the same company that made the Meghan Markle sexy wedding dress costume last year.
God.
That didn't even need to be a costume. Meghan Markle's just sexy anyway.
Yeah.
But that's where I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this. They've now jumped the zeitgeist. I mean, a couple years ago you had the sexy Olaf costume, so I didn't think there was going to be anything that they could do.
Now I'm picturing Josh Gad in white. Oh, never mind. Nope.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the shark was jumped a long time ago. I didn't think they would get to besmirching Mr. Rogers, but what other characters or actors or off the wall people do they need to make a sexy costume of, and how the heck do you do it?
I mean, if you're going with the nicest neighbor, might as well just do the Holy Trinity and go the nicest animal tamer and the nicest painter. Sexy
where
Bob
I
Ross
went.
and
Bob
Sexy
Ross?
Steve. Bob Ross and Steve Irwin.
There we go.
Yeah, the Bob Ross. I really want to see how they would do a Bob Ross.
Yes,
one.
I
It's just
do
gonna
too.
be. Now they're just gonna give you an easel with a paintbrush to
Well,
hold and trace on it.
That's real easy. It's Bob
And a
Ross
fro.
and Daisy Dukes. It's Bob Ross and Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
put a fro on
Daisy Dukes in
somebody.
a fro wig.
That's how you're getting the sexy Bob Ross.
You know what I want to see? I made the joke already. I don't know if anybody heard me. I want to see Leather Daddy Bert.
Oh,
And, maybe a sub Ernie, something like that. A rubber ducky Ernie, yeah.
Oh god. Oh,
Oh god.
Too much?
too much. Too much.
Here we
I
go.
guess- Yeah, that would be funny though. Yeah. Oh my god.
I want to see the Count as a bouncer at a strip club.
what would Big Bird?
A sexy Big Bird. I think it probably already exists. In all honesty.
Yeah,
Probably
I think
does.
that's just D from It's Always Sunny in
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
I was about to say that. Shut up, sweet D.
Stupid bird.
I mean, if we're gonna just go with the PBS, let's just get the whole sexy PBS line going. So you've got
Oh, the
Bob Ross.
the McNeil Layer News Hour. Yeah.
All right, how are you gonna put that one together?
Just old guys in suits. It's the same thing on paper as it is in reality.
So you think old
The
guys in
sexy
suits are
LeVar
sexy?
Burton.
Ooh, okay.
LeVar
Now I'm in.
You're just gonna give he'll just have another like little tiny sweater with stripes
And a
and
book.
a book.
Again, it's mostly just about really short shorts.
But the one you forgot, the Captain Kangaroo costume is the one because you just put the
Oh.
mustache on her.
Wait. Do you guys remember Zoobly Zoo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Pretty sure that was PBS. Ben Vereen dressed up like a tiger.
Yes, it was PBS.
Less spandex than before.
Oh god. So yeah, give us your thoughts of what sexy Halloween costumes need to be made off the wall characters.
I'm trying to
Have
come
fun
up with
with
something
it.
for Oscar the Grouch, but I don't know.
Oh, it's easy.
trash can.
Yeah, just a really short, small trash can that you wear around your waist.
Rather than a full like street side metal trash can, he's got like a little 5-gallon bathroom trash.
Thing, and then the trash can lid is a hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Done. Yeah, I think we're in the wrong business.
Also,
Just don't make a sexy Elmo costume because then people will always try and tickle you.
what
Oh,
the tickling
No, it'll
gets
happen.
awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward.
So,
Yeah.
it get very awkward. So,
Bad. Very bad.
That's why I stopped dressing like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
did you have a character, off the wall character, super that should get a sexy costume made of them?
Let's see. Off the wall character. It could be anything. Anything off the wall character.
Sexy
Preferably
doll.
from PBS, but
Okay.
Oh, from
It
PBS.
doesn't have to be for, but
Doesn't have to
Oh,
be.
okay.
that'd be the funny. That goes with the theme.
You remember that old show? What was it called? Like Under the Umbrella Tree.
I remember the song.
You remember that? They had
Yeah,
some
it was
weird
sung by
looking
Rihanna,
characters
right?
in there that would make really, really odd, sexy costumes.
They
Riri,
actually
Riri,
made odd, sexy costumes. Okay, that's that's taking a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
oh, the sexy Jerry Lewis telethon.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that Mr. Rogers one,
Well, that's what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Well, no, I know, but I was on the phone when you were.
Is that going to be your costume for this year, Super? You gonna
I
go
don't
get the
know.
sexy-
I'm not going to desecrate Mr. Rogers' memory like that. Are you kidding me?
I'm hitting on anybody I see dressed like Mr. Rogers.
Hey.
Regardless if it's sexy or not.
A bunch of women doing the sexy Darkwing Duck. I think that would be really funny.
Yeah. No,
Big
now
jump
that Tom
film.
Hanks is playing Mr. Rogers, we need a whole sexy Tom Hanks character line.
Oh, that's already just Tom Hanks in movies.
Sexy Captain Phillips.
Sexy big. But
What do you put on him
oh
for
no,
Castaway?
no, the joke's too easy, but too bad.
Sexy bosom
Sexy
buddy.
Wilson.
Sexy bosom buddies works. Sexy money pit.
Oh.
Ooh, sexy
dude.
bachelor party. Yeah.
Sexy Forrest Gump.
That just
Sexy Forrest Gump is easy. It's really easy. It's when he's running. So you put a beard on her, but you have the red hat, the super short yellow shorts,
And a yellow shirt that says "shit happens." Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What about,
there's your
Now tell me how you're gonna do
Sexy
sexy
Forrest-
Green Mile.
Oh.
it's
Well, I
Sexy
mean, I
Road
think-
to Perdition.
it's just sexy Green Mile would have to be a
Prison
costume
uniform.
together. It would be really easy to do because you would just get like a sexy police outfit.
yeah, police uniform.
And then
Yeah,
the other
Sexy
to go along
hooch.
with it, the other person.
Yes. Sexy Wilson and Sexy Hooch.
what about the burbs? The burbs.
Yes.
I don't know how that one. You just put a skeleton as an accessory.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sexy Charlie Wilson's War. What? It's just senators with shorts instead of suit pants.
Sexy Da Vinci.
It's all about shorts.
Sexy Da Vinci Code is really hard because you got to put that hairstyle on that costume.
Oh, that hair. No. Yeah, the hair ruins
The
it.
hair.
That's
Sexy
terrible.
Volcano. Yeah, Joe versus the
Oh,
Volcano.
Joe versus nice. Good call.
Okay. We're done. We're just having too much fun here. Okay, that is it for the All Things Nerd podcast this week. We're going to talk about where you can follow us and tell us all of your sexy Halloween costumes that need to be made so that we can get a hold of this lingerie company and tell them, I'm seriously, I'm going to tweet out that they need to make a whole Tom Hanks line.
Yeah, tweet us. Hashtag sexy Tom Hanks.
There it is. Hashtag of the week. Hashtag Sexy Tom Hanks. Use it.
But yeah, so let's talk about where you can follow everybody outside of this cast. Super, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at Super Hoovy and Nuts, and you can come join the party and the debates. And follow me on Instagram at Super Hoovy and Freak. Beware though, that one's mostly cat pictures or whatever animal I'm babysitting that week.
Okay. Icy Zoro, where can people follow you outside this cast?
Not in Solvang this weekend. At IC Zoro on Instagram, Twitter, and PlayStation Network.
And Mind Freak, where can people follow you outside of this podcast?
Follow me on Twitter at MindFreakMLG. You guys can also follow me on Mixer at mixer.com/justmindfreak. That's JUSTMINDFREVK.
If you want to follow this podcast elsewhere, head over to our main website, malice-corp.com. You can listen to all our previous episodes there, or you can check us out on YouTube. And wherever you're at, please subscribe. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for helping us. And thank you for coming back to listen for more. If you want to listen or talk with us on Twitter, you can go to All Nerd Podcast. And you can look us up on Facebook, where we're very interactive at the group for All Things Nerd Podcast. Along with that, if you want to follow me, you can check me out on Twitter at @mest_Malice Corp, and I'll chat with you over there, or look me up on Instagram at mest5150, along with my other YouTube channel, Geek Guidepost. That is a vlog channel, and I'm working on getting more videos up there. In fact, I'll be going to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights tomorrow night, so some video from that will be coming up eventually too. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Ruru 2. Thank you, Red Meat Puff, for dropping in. Mania TF2 and everybody else that was lurking in the chat room. We appreciate it. You keep nerding on, and we'll see you next Friday.
Peace.
Carry on.